Baruta, diverse territory in transformation. These are proposals based on a previous process of investigation and analysis of the Baruta territory. Baruta is a city integrated into the metropolitan area of Caracas, part of a country rich in oil and natural resources. It is made up of slopes and characterized interconnected rivers and part of a large ecological reserve that must be preserved. Firstly, we have made a SWOT analysis where we can see the following characteristics. Among the strengths, we can highlight that the neighborhoods are surrounded by green mountains that give identity to the site. Also, the young population index is higher than the rest, making it economically productive. As opportunities, we find receptive spaces for urban services and housing. There are also weaknesses, such as the lack of connections with the neighborhoods, lack of integration of the natural areas with the existing roads, and the most insecure spaces. As streets, there is an invasion in the protected green areas, lack of urban services like recreational and sports, and finally, the lack of infrastructure. Based on the above, Baruta has a social and urban fragmentation due to the disconnection of its neighborhoods, a lack of public services, coupled with uncontrolled urban growth and disconnected towards protected green areas.
So we focus on 1. The lack of integration of the natural areas with the rest of the settlements. 2. The invasion of the protected areas by irregular settlements. 3. The poor condition of the roads. 4. The lack of connection between the neighborhoods. 5. As well as the lack of urban service. 6. Infrastructure as well as insecurity condition for the study area. Our objectives are to integrate green areas with the existing and proposed routes, establish designs that allow the delimitation of the protected natural areas, implement new ways of the transport to improve mobility, proposal for urban spaces that can be used by dominant generation and future ones, as well as having surveillance in these spaces. In order to understand this situation, this map refers to the existing routes in the study area, which have low flow and poor connection between settlements. The main use in the study area is residential, and also have other few uses that are away from each other.
In the same way, we found that urban services of Baruta need to increase, mostly recreational and sport areas. Finally, the site has many informal settlements adapted to the characteristics of the topography. Most of the houses have 2 or 3 levels of construction, leaving the building materials pure. Some other houses are adapted to have shops on the ground floors, and other areas have 3-level apartment towers. Based on the population number and the Mexican regulation from the Secretary of Social Development, it's proposed the necessary urban services for the specific site.
Some results are 9 educational institute, 1 municipal library, 5. Health and Assistance Institute. 10. Recreation and Culture. 2. Public Service. Our strategies to carry out are the generate pedestrian green corridors that will serve as protector to the protect natural areas. Connect the routes with these corridors to obtain a single circuit. Generate limiting and protective viewpoints to avoid irregular settlements. Implement means of the transport such as cableway to generate a better traffic flow. Design spaces to create ecological awareness such as orchards, botanical gardens, open-air cinemas, and camping areas. Improve the quality and supply of basic urban service and place surveillance at the criminal points. First, we identify corridors that are divided into attractors and protectors. We use protectors to avoid irregular settlements in protector areas in green and the attractors to connect the different neighborhoods, those that are in red. And then the patches that are the orange to use for urban development and the protect green areas in color green.
Finally, it identified the existing stewards and placed other ones to stop the expansion into the protected green areas. The master plans chosen it, the connection of the city and its nearby populations, with the proposed urban facilities, new designs of existing open spaces, where the territory and the city are used with greater opportunity for the inhabitants to develop and live in it better conditions. The proposal for the expansion and improvement of the streets and sidewalks includes wide spaces for pedestrians, with vegetation that urban image is unified in addition to being very pleasant to walk or ride a bike through green spaces. The corridor proposals have a bike path, wide sidewalks, also urban furniture, garbage cans, and good light that will mitigate the insecurity. We believe that when people feel identified with the spaces, they take care of them even more. There are proposed medical clinics, elementary schools, kindergartens, public libraries to prevent people from traveling long distance in their daily lives to attend to first needs to improve the quality of life.
Has proposal for open spaces for recreation, camping areas and proposed in natural sites, a botanical garden to increase an ecological awareness of the new generation as well as public sports centers. The cable car proposed the optimist transportation between towns, trying to impact the natural ecosystem as little as possible and else take advantage for the topography of the place, generating an experience with the panoramic view of the mountains. Because some neighborhoods are in the risk areas, the proposed house will serve a relocation area, as well as general housing for new users. Since there is an area for possible expansion, they are accompanied by existing and proposed service. and having an affecting connection between the other neighborhoods and the entire complex.
Commercial zones located in close proximity to dispersed settlements are proposed to improve the quality of life and avoid long distance to satisfy the needs of their inhabitants. Finally, to take advantage of the proposed protective corridors, viewpoints are placed with views of the mountains, used as urban recreational spaces. And here, the team that made all this possible. Thank you for your attention.